Have you ever found yourself squinting more in the evenings or struggling to recall simple information like where you left your keys or what you were just about to say? If those moments of mild confusion and blurry vision sound familiar, you are certainly not alone. For many individuals in their 60s and beyond, blurry vision at night and those foggy moments of forgetfulness are not simply random annoyances. They start to feel like concrete signals that cognitive and visual sharpness are quietly receding. And the most common yet misleading advice we receive is that this is simply normal aging, that declining eyesight and memory loss are things we must eventually accept. But I need to emphasize that this is not the full medical picture. Your body, specifically your brain and your eyes, possesses an incredibly powerful built-in repair system that fundamentally activates while you sleep. Every night, your brain initiates a crucial wash cycle to clear away toxic waste linked to memory loss, and your retina regenerates its most vital light-sensitive cells. Do you think your sleep is currently providing the deep restorative rest your brain and eyes require for this intense nightly repair? Here is the key clinical point. This critical repair can only proceed effectively if your body has the correct nutrients available at the right time. And that is where most people are unknowingly falling short. Without realizing it, you might be going to bed significantly underfueled and waking up every morning with just a little more wear and tear than the day before. That slow, consistent decline is not just aging, it is mismanaged repair. Now here is the hopeful medical reality. There are specific natural food sources, simple ones available right in your own kitchen, that can actually boost your brain and vision repair while you are sleeping. They do not require any prescriptions, complex compounds, or expensive supplements. In fact, tonight, I want to show you how 3 humble dry fruits, and only 3, can quietly but powerfully protect your memory and eyesight while you rest. These foods are intensely rich in polyphenols, potent antioxidants, and essential brain-boosting fats. They are designed to work in perfect alignment with your body's natural nighttime rhythm to restore visual clarity, sharpen memory recall, and protect your most sensitive cells from the accelerated effects of aging. 1. Raisins fueling. Retinal repair and stabilizing energy. Let us begin with something you have probably completely overlooked for years, raisins. They may seem too simple, too ordinary to be therapeutically powerful. But inside each one is a small, concentrated reservoir of protective nutrients that can support your vision and brain health in ways most people never imagine. Let us start with the visual system. As we age, one of the biggest threats to our vision is called oxidative stress. This is the process where unstable molecules known as free radicals begin to damage the sensitive structures in your retina. Over time, this cumulative damage contributes to serious conditions like macular degeneration, the formation of cataracts, and noticeably faster visual fatigue at the end of the day. But raisins introduce 2 powerful tools into this fight: polyphenols and naturally balanced sugars. Do you understand the difference between a sudden sugar rush and a slow, sustained energy source for your body's nighttime functions? Let me explain why this balance matters. Raisins are particularly rich in quercetin and camphorol, 2 highly potent polyphenols that act as primary antioxidants. These compounds work to neutralize free radicals before they can cause cellular harm to your retina. Think of these polyphenols as a specialized firefighting crew. They rush in immediately before a spark can ignite into a full-blown flame, effectively protecting your retinal cells from burning out. There is substantial medical science confirming this. A study published in the journal Molecular Nutrition and Food Research found that dietary polyphenols helped measurably reduce oxidative stress in retinal tissue and supported photoreceptor function as we age. Another publication reported that quercetin is capable of crossing the blood-retina barrier. This is clinically significant because it means the compound can directly enter your eye, reduce inflammation, and help protect your vision from age-related decline from the inside out. But that is only half of the story. Your eyes remain metabolically active even during sleep. They do not simply shut down. They are actively busy rebuilding light-sensing cells and clearing accumulated damage from the day. And just like any high-performance engine running all night, they require a steady, reliable source of fuel. That is where raisins truly shine. They contain natural glucose and fructose sugars, perfectly paired with dietary fiber. This combination effectively slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream, completely avoiding the spikes and subsequent crashes. Why is this so crucial? Because unstable blood sugar can effectively starve your retinal cells of energy. It is the physiological equivalent of cutting the power, while the repair crew is still actively working. A clinical study shared in the nutrition journal Nutrients demonstrated that consuming a moderate amount of raisins each day helped improve overall blood sugar control and also lowered blood pressure in older adults. These two benefits directly and profoundly support healthy circulation, especially in the tiny capillaries that feed your delicate retinal tissue. Imagine your eyes are working the critical night shift. If they receive a sudden massive flood of energy followed by an immediate blackout, the repair work stalls. But if they receive a slow, steady stream of fuel like the one derived from raisins, they can successfully finish the job and be fully prepared by morning. So how should you use this practically? Just 5 to 7 raisins before bed is sufficient. That tiny measured amount provides steady glucose throughout the night and delivers the necessary antioxidants directly to your eyes. Make sure to eat them plain, not coated in extra sugar or oil, and ideally paired with healthy fats, which we will discuss shortly. To summarize, raisins protect your vision by performing 3 critical functions. They neutralize free radicals with quercetin and camphorol. They stabilize blood sugar to consistently fuel nighttime eye repair, and they improve microcirculation to ensure optimal nutrient delivery to the retina. They are small, natural, and surprisingly powerful, especially when timed correctly. 2. Almonds building cellular shields with vitamin E. Next, we will discuss a dry fruit that protects your eyes in a very different way from the inside out by building stronger, more resilient cellular shields. Let us explore the profound power of almonds. At first glance, almonds may seem basic, but on a cellular level, they are one of the very best sources of fat-soluble antioxidants, particularly vitamin E, a critical nutrient specifically required for shielding your eyes from cumulative damage. Let us quickly review what is truly happening inside your eyes. Your retina, the thin, light-sensitive layer at the back of your eye, is packed with photoreceptor cells. These cells capture light and convert it into the electrical signals your brain translates as sight. But these cells are extremely fragile. Every day, they are exposed to blue light, chronic oxidative stress, and high metabolic demand. And just like the paint on a car that fades under constant sunlight, these cells wear down significantly over time, especially if they are left unprotected. This is where the vitamin E supplied by almonds plays its most critical protective role. Vitamin E functions like a profound biological shield. It coats your cell membranes and absorbs the full impact of free radicals before they can cause destructive damage. Imagine a specialized sponge catching hot sparks before they can hit something flammable. That is precisely what vitamin E does for your retina. Is it not remarkable that a simple nut can provide such targeted cellular protection? Multiple clinical studies confirm this benefit. One major research project published in the journal Ophthalmology found that individuals with a higher consistent intake of vitamin E had a significantly lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration. Another study demonstrated that diets consistently rich in vitamin E could actively slow the progression of cataracts, especially in older adults. But the benefits of almonds extend beyond their antioxidant capability. They also strongly support microcirculation, the movement of blood through the tiniest vessels in your eye. These minute capillaries are the essential delivery system for nutrients and oxygen. If they become stiff or inflamed, your retina simply does not receive what it desperately needs to repair itself. Almonds are rich in monounsaturated fats, which are known to keep blood vessels flexible and healthy. They help reduce systemic inflammation and improve overall blood flow, ensuring that those essential nutrients reach the most delicate parts of your eye during the night. Imagine you are trying to renovate a room at night, but the delivery trucks cannot navigate the narrow streets leading to the site. Even with all the workers ready, they cannot proceed without materials. Almonds help to open those small vascular roads, ensuring the building supplies. Oxygen, vitamins, minerals get precisely where they need to go. When you consume almonds in the evening, you are strategically loading your bloodstream with vitamin E and healthy fats just before your retina begins its nightly regeneration cycle. Instead of waking up with an increase in cellular damage, your eyes get a head start, protected thoroughly, nourished, and ready for another day of visual stress. So what is the best way to utilize almonds in your routine? It is simple and requires preparation. Soak about 6 to 8 raw almonds in water during the day. At night, approximately 30 to 45 minutes before bed, peel off the thin brown skin and eat them plain. Soaking makes the nutrients significantly more bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and utilize them more efficiently. No complicated recipes or hard-to-find ingredients, just a few soaked almonds before bed, and your eyes get the raw materials they need right when they are performing their deepest repair work. To summarize this section, almonds help protect your vision in 3 key ways. They deliver powerful antioxidants like vitamin E. They support healthy blood flow to the retina, and they supply steady energy for your eye cells throughout the night. 3. Walnuts. Fueling brain repair and memory consolidation. If almonds act as the biological shield for your eyes, then walnuts are the essential fuel for your brain, especially during the nighttime hours. There is a physiological reason why a walnut so closely resembles a tiny brain, 2 hemispheres, a wrinkled surface, and even a left and right side. It is not mere coincidence. Let us discuss what truly happens inside your brain while you sleep. Your brain is far from idle during the night. In fact, it is incredibly busy sorting memories, clearing out metabolic waste, and actively rebuilding its most important communication pathways. This entire vital process is called memory consolidation. It is how your brain decides which information to keep and which to discard. But here is the catch. This complex process depends heavily on the flexibility and overall health of your neurons, the cells that transmit thoughts, memories, and decisions. If their membranes are inflamed or stiff, your ability to efficiently store and retrieve memories starts to suffer noticeably. That is where walnuts become indispensable. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that your brain absolutely requires. These omega-3s help to build flexible cell membranes, allowing neurons to send signals smoothly and efficiently. Think of it like oiling the hinges of a door. Without oil, the door squeaks and sticks. With it, the door glides open effortlessly. Omega-3s keep your neurons communicating clearly, which translates directly to sharper recall, improved focus, and stronger memory. This is proven science. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging showed that older adults who consistently consumed more walnuts had better memory scores, faster mental processing speeds, and improved concentration. Another clinical trial found that omega-3s significantly enhanced synaptic plasticity, that is, your brain's physical ability to form and strengthen connections. But walnuts offer even more. They contain unique polyphenols that directly reduce inflammation in your brain, especially in the hippocampus, the core memory center. They also contain natural melatonin, the hormone that helps align your internal clock, so your brain enters the deep restorative sleep phases precisely when memory consolidation happens most effectively. Can you recall a time when you felt mentally sharper after a night of truly deep, uninterrupted sleep? Walnuts are designed to facilitate that experience. Imagine your brain as a library. Every day, you add dozens of new books, experiences, conversations, facts. At night, the librarian organizes them onto the correct shelves. But if the lights are dim, the air is dusty, and the shelves are broken, the job is slow and incomplete. Walnuts brighten the lights, clear the dust, and strengthen the shelves. They help your brain store memories where you can actually find them later. So how do you put this into practice effectively? Just 2 to 3 raw walnut halves before bed is sufficient. Because they are naturally high in healthy fats, you do not need a large amount. and they are best eaten raw and unroasted to preserve their delicate oils. You can easily combine them with the almonds you prepared earlier. While the almonds protect your eyes, the walnuts simultaneously prepare your brain for deep, organized memory repair. To recap, walnuts support your brain by doing 4 powerful things. They provide omega-3s to build flexible neuron membranes. They reduce inflammation in key memory regions. They support natural melatonin release to improve sleep cycles. And they enhance your brain's ability to form and store lasting memories. Now that we have established the specific benefits of each of these dry fruits, the real clinical magic begins when you combine them into one simple, synergistic nightly ritual. This does not have to be complicated. There are no special recipes or complex instructions, only a small, consistent adjustment to your evening routine. Here is the step-by-step method. Step 1. Prepare your almonds. In the morning, take 6 to 8 raw almonds and soak them in a glass of water. By evening, the skin will be loose. Peel them off just before eating. This small act is supported by nutritional science because it helps deactivate enzyme inhibitors, which makes nutrients like vitamin E, magnesium, and zinc far easier for your body to absorb. Step 2. Add your walnuts. Take 2 to 3 raw and unroasted walnut halves. This specific amount provides the optimal balance of omega-3 fatty acids and polyphenols without overloading your digestion. Since the fats in walnuts are sensitive to heat, keeping them raw preserves their full potential for brain repair. Step 3. Include your raisins. Measure out just 5 to 7 raisins. This small portion provides both your brain and eyes with a steady natural source of glucose, the kind that does not abruptly spike your blood sugar. This translates to more stable energy for the deep repair cycles your body initiates during the first half of the night. Step 4. Timing is everything. Consume this powerful trio approximately 30 to 45 minutes before bed. This allows your digestive system ample time to begin breaking down the nutrients, so they are already circulating in your bloodstream by the time your brain and eyes start their most intense nightly repair work. If you were to eat these too late, how would that interfere with your body's focus on sleep and repair? Step 5. Support the process. To maximize the effect of the dry fruits, you must pair them with good sleep hygiene. Dim all lights an hour before bed. Avoid screens. The blue light from phones and TVs actively suppresses natural melatonin production. Drink a small glass of warm water or a caffeine-free herbal tea to stay hydrated and support circulation and keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. These small habits help your body enter the deeper, most restorative sleep phases, which is when the dry fruits can truly do their reparative work. This is not about a quick fix. It is about building a rhythm, a nightly habit that aligns perfectly with how your body is naturally wired to repair. Because when you strategically feed your brain and your eyes what they need at the right time, in the right form, and pair it with restorative sleep, the effects build quietly, night after night, week after week. This simple ritual takes less than 5 minutes a night. Yet it can fundamentally change not just how you feel tomorrow morning, but how you age, how clearly you remember, and how vibrantly you see the world for years to come. Let us consolidate the final message. Your eyes and your brain. The two most energy-hungry organs in your body do not simply shut down when you sleep. In fact, it is during those quiet hours of the night that they work their hardest to repair, reset, and restore function. But like any high-level repair crew, they cannot function effectively without the right tools and raw materials. That is what almonds, walnuts, and raisins represent. They are not merely snacks. They are fuel. They are building blocks. They are the silent, critical support your cells require to recover from the accumulated wear and tear of daily life, especially as you navigate the aging process. Almonds deliver vitamin E and healthy fats, proactively protecting your retina from oxidative stress and improving blood flow. Walnuts bring in omega-3s and natural melatonin, helping your brain to efficiently store memories and sleep more deeply. Raisins provide polyphenols and stable energy, shielding both brain and eye cells while they are working overnight. When you eat them at the right time and combine them with restful sleep habits, you create a powerful, sustained synergy. You do not need perfect genetics. You do not need the latest expensive supplement. You simply need consistency and a little care for your future self. Aging well means protecting what matters most: your ability to see clearly, to think clearly, and to live fully. If this video has provided you with valuable information, I would be grateful if you would share it with someone you care about. My challenge to you is simple starting tonight. Prepare 6 to 8 soaked almonds, 2 to 3 raw walnut halves, and 5 to 7 raisins. Eat them about 30 minutes before bed. Dim the lights, turn off the screens, then just pay attention. Notice the small shifts that quietly build over time. You have more power and resilience than you currently feel. Let us protect it one night at a time.